Hello, welcome back to bennystake. I'm your girl Benny, and we back on the couch. Okay, it's giving consistency. It's giving side par. Yeah, I see the law. I thought you know what I'm saying? I thought I'd be like, yeah, see that a little bit. Is it giving? Cause like Viola Davis don't like my real, and I was like, I got to switch it up. You know what I'm saying? So while Viola Davis like my real, have you subscribed? Have you subscribed? Because it's like a Viola Davis, the woman king herself, Annalise Keating, will like my real. Okay? Why are you not subscribing? It's gonna come a time. Okay, the time is near. Y'all not gonna be able to make eye contact with me. You feel me? So before we switch some things around, subscribe. Get on my good side, okay? By the way, I have both good sides. I've never been the girl to be like, oh, this is my good side. No, baby. The whole face is good. The grace of God right here, favor right here, mercy every which way, okay? All my sides is good. In my coming, in my going, everything is good. Surrounded, okay? Surrounded. I will not be before you people long, okay? Go ahead and subscribe. And you see the title. We're going to be talking about Love is Blind Friends. Now, mind you, it's a lot of Love is Blind that's coming out, and I'm excited to watch it with y'all live. The Friends one, I've been watching it, so we're just going to do couple by couple. I've been trying to figure out how to do it. We just gonna do it couple by couple. I can't keep wasting time. And I told somebody on here, somebody had commented that they want to hear my thoughts on Love is Blind Friends. And I'm trying to do my best to keep my word. If I tell you I'm gonna do something, I'm trying to do my best to actually do it. So we're gonna do a little rapid round. Since I've already watched it, we unfortunately cannot watch episode by episode. We won't have the time to do that, unfortunately. But we're going to cover couple by couple some of the main events that I think happened. So if you haven't yet, please go ahead and subscribe. Really, like, I'm being for real. Please subscribe. I'm trying to reach 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We close now. We close. We closed as far as, like, you know, we added an additional 1,000 subscribers for the month of January, but we need 3,000 subscribers every month. So we're still 2,000 subscribers short. And it's the 24th right now. Like, I'm gonna need them the miracles from the Bible. That's what I'm gonna need to go ahead and reach this goal. Go ahead and gather the people, gather your pets, create accounts for your pets, create accounts for your grandmama. Like, do the things, subscribe to my channel, okay? I ain't gonna be before y'all long, so let's just go ahead and get started with this. First couple, we're gonna be talking about Cynthia and her short king. Okay, Simone Biles. That's that's where we're gonna start. Okay, all right. So the first time we see our good sister Cynthia, we see her with our good brother Jonathan Simone Biles, right? We see them together and they're talking about their careers. I'm a chef. You know, she did something with the luxury business or whatever the case. Like, they was out here bonding. She gonna talk about, like, she loves to cook too. Cooking is her love language. And my initial thought of Jonathan was that, dang, like, he seemed like a cool guy. He seems like, you know, level-headed. It's doing all of the things.
I'm a sales advisor in the luxury sector.
And I'm a chef.
Oh, sexy.
Now, mind you, Cynthia is a Congolese woman, okay? I'm a Congolese woman. I'm going to tell you right now, biased. Biased. The B in my name is for biased. Y'all not going to disrespect. On this here couch, we will not disrespect Cynthia. I did my best not to watch a lot of people's reviews of this here, show Love is Blind Friends. But I still, you know, I caught a couple things. But on this here couch, we will not disrespect Cynthia. She's as a Congolese. Mwana mboka. Onde konangai. Jamais. The B in my name gonna stand for bias. When it's like Cynthia, I would never. I caught some of the things that y'all was saying on TikTok, talking about she a witch, all the things. Y'all was wrong for that. So on this here channel, I will not be so respect. When I'm one Mboka respect, the B in my name gonna be biased. So if you're not ready for that, go ahead and exit. But before you exit, go ahead and subscribe. Okay? I'm not that committed to Cynthia. Okay? Subscribe before you exit. But no, some of the smoke that y'all gave to her. Yes, I could see where I was coming from, but I feel like a lot of people were overlooking a lot of the things when it came to Jonathan. We're going to get into it, though. Because on this here page, one of sa grande sœur. One of sa grande sœur. Cynthia, c'est ma grande sœur. Respect. One of sa mwana mboka to respecte mbalamoko. We're not playing those games. That's my sister, and we're gonna put some respect on her name. Okay, gorgeous girl. Gorgeous girl, okay? Gorgeous girl. I done said that and I was like, dang, like, do I like women's? Like, I had to go ahead and calculate some things. Like, do I want to cross a couple canals? Like, what's going on?
For me, today, getting married is not only a necessity, it's also a no-brainer.
She is so beautiful. I was like, oh my gosh, the chocolate, the way she just like said, very just like, love her down. Love her down. And then next time we see her with her other connection, Madi.
Do you believe in God?
Yes. And you?
God he's my pillar.
And now they're talking, what is baby gonna be like, do you believe in God? Because God the center of my life. It's giving Jesus at the center of it. That's what Madi was talking about. God at the center. Okay, we're the center right here and Jesus right there. I love the Lord. I'm focused on the faith. I'm doing the things. And Cynthia's like, okay, I'm a believer too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love the Lord. Like, I practice, my Christianity. We do all of the things. Cool. I remember feeling like, dang, the two of them would make a better match. Like, there's just something about how calm and how just like, soft-spoken that he was that I felt like would go really, really well with just like how calm and just like how confident, like the queen energy that she exuded. Not that I thought Jonathan was a bad match for her. I do have to be honest. But there's just something about my dude, the way he just like said, like he exuded like a certain level of calm that I was just kind of like, yo, that's going, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to come together and their kids going to be beautiful. What do you mean? Look at them people. Look at Madi and look at Cynthia. Beautiful, beautiful couple. That's what I remember thinking, right?
When I meet people, it's reassuring if they believe in God, because that means they have a sense of what's right and what's wrong.
Madi was out here talking about how like, oh, I grew up a Christian and I love seeing me some Christians because whenever I see Christians, they have a great notion of what's right and what's wrong. First of all, the way I disagree. Ain't nobody gonna be more embarrassing than a Christian. I'm a Christian myself and I could tell you right now, Christians, some of us, not me, because I fear the Lord now. I fear the Lord. But some of y'all, nobody gonna ever be embarrassing than a man that's gonna let you know that he loves the Lord and requires that people love the Lord too. Ain't nobody gonna ever be more embarrassing than that man. Because remember, I even did Sideway. I just even did a review of Half the Balloon of this man, Greg, episode 81. Check it out somewhere over here. While this way was talking about how, like, he loved him, a woman that's going to love the Lord, that's going to be in the feminine energy. Mind you, I came to find out when I did their follow-up that this baby done lie about his profession. He done lie about his profession. And the whole time, he was out here trying to smash our good sis, Karma. Now, Karma being asked him, what's the most toxic thing you ever did in a relations? That should have let you know everything you needed to know about Karma. Karma was not serious on some things because, mind you, why she gonna go ahead and fly to? First of all, she flew to Chicago to go see him. Why? As a woman, like why? Why would it be like, yeah, first meet up, you as the woman, you are out here taking initiative, you're taking a flight. You want to fly and go see a man. Why? At your big age. Already they are just kind of like, yeah, it's not giving. It's not, like it's not all the way there to begin with. But why she gonna bring her child on that trip? Her daughter. This man, you know nothing and a half about this man. You're gonna go ahead and fly to see this man. And then you're gonna bring your daughter on this trip where you done flew to see this man. Mind you, this man done told you that he lied about his profession on the show. He told you this. He did. Right? But I'm not going to give Karma no smoke, no nothing. Because Karma on that episode, she was consistent. I did multiple reviews on that little episode with like the different guys that came out. Karma was in a relationship she ain't knew. Like she was in a whole relationship that she ain't knew about. 3 years. 3 years. Okay, it never really gave like that. But this man, this Christian man, who wanted him a Christian woman, just wanted to smash. Because when you listen to their follow-up, he was talking about like, can you come to my place? And mind you, he stayed at Motel 6. Like, first of all, what the hell? Gonna be like, can you come to my place at 2 a.m.? Beloved, only witches and wizards are up at 2 a.m. What do you want to do with our good sis Karma? What do you want to do? Okay? What do you want to do? Lay in the midnight hour with our good sis. That's a Christian man. That's a Christian man. So when I tell you ain't nobody gonna be more embarrassing than a Christian man, I mean nobody. Nobody, 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 nobody. The ones that be like, I'm a Christian and I love the Lord, them gonna be the ones that embarrass you the most, the absolute most. So when my D was sitting over here like, you know, I grew up in the faith, so the faith is very important to me, immediately right there I was like, okay, my D, what are you on? I already knew. In that moment, I was like, okay, I was beginning to get suspicious. I was like, this one, we're on a date, just like the Lord, I love the Lord, I love the Lord. Okay, I love the Lord too, but tell me about your other values. Tell me about your other values, right? So the next time, what we're going to see Madi, the man of God, okay? We're going to see him on a date with Cynthia. And Cynthia's over here blushing. I'm talking about red. She's just blushing. Even on her dark complexion, you see the blush going just like, blushing. I'm talking about she blushing. I love this man. He make me feel one way or the other. Like, I can't believe I'm saying this. She in love. She already in love. And I could also see at that point that this man is catching like, oh, okay, this girl is feeling me.
Hi, Maddie. I'm happy to meet you again.
How are you?
Don't talk to me like that, Maddie.
Now, I will never fault the girlies for showing affection because, again, we are human beings and sometimes you just, you know, you feel the feels and so you want to feel the feels. But we got to kind of like reel it in, right? Like let's bring back the excitement, right? Don't let the man know how you feeling. Keep it cute. Keep it real mindful, right? Like let them dig for a little bit. Let them dig for it a little bit because whenever the guys know that y'all feeling them, it's something that just like don't align in their mind that they decide they want to go ahead and play games with y'all. You know what I'm saying? So she cheating, and this man gonna be like, oh, you know, what's a behavior that's gonna be unacceptable to you in your future husband? To you, right? Let me know what you find unacceptable in your future husband. If hypothetically I'm gonna be your future husband, that's the question. Tell me what you gonna find unacceptable. Like, I don't do that.
What kind of behavior is unacceptable from your husband?
I good sis Cynthia, my grandchild, she gonna say like, oh, I'm not really possessive, but if I see my man around way too many women and he ain't got no limitations, I could be a little bit more possessive. That's what I find unacceptable in a relationship. A man that's gonna be just for everybody, a man that's gonna be maybe a little too flirty, just like around women all the doggone time. That's what I'm gonna find unattractive. Right? He asked, she answered.
I'm not possessive, but I can become possessive if my future husband is surrounded by a lot of women, you know, with no limits.
She gonna give an example. She was like, let's say like, you know, we at the crib, me and you, we sleeping. It's 1 a.m. in the morning, late in the midnight hour. Me and you and your female friends gonna be calling you at 1 a.m. late in the midnight hour when me and you are. That's gonna make me a little bit uncomfortable, right? Me as your wife in this imaginary scenario, that's gonna make me uncomfortable.
For example, your female best friend calls you at 1 a.m. Some things are not supposed to happen.
This man, Madi, the man of God, l'homme de Dieu, he gonna be like, oh, is that like a rule that you have? And she gonna be like, a rule might be a little harsh. You're not saying it ain't no rule, but it's like at 2 a.m., at 1 a.m., late in the midnight hour, when me and you, we spending time, we like, and this person gonna just be calling you and you on the phone with them at 1 a.m. when me and you is like, that's gonna make me feel some type of way. It ain't no rule or nothing. It's a respect thing for me. That's gonna make me uncomfortable. That's gonna be something that I find unacceptable. Madi, l'homme de Dieu, the man of God, that's so grounded in his faith. Okay, the faith that lets him know That when you leave your papa's house and she leaves, her papa's house, together they come. You guys become one. That's your family. That's your responsibility. That's the person you're supposed to cover. You're supposed to love her like Christ and love the church. That's what the Christianity done told you you're supposed to do to your wife. That man, Madi, l'homme de Dieu, the man of God, gonna hit our good sis with some like, oh, if my friend needs me late in the midnight hour, even if it's 1 a.m., 2 a.m., it doesn't matter if it's a boy or a girl, I'm gonna be there for them.
But I mean, if a friend, male or female, needs me after 10 p.m., I'll be there for him.
And I'm just kind of like, Jesus on the main line. Why your friend got to go ahead and call you at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., when me and you is like, I get it if it's an emergency. But the way I understood my sister, my grande sœur, okay, Cynthia Mwanamboka, the way I understood her was like, oh, I'm not going to feel comfortable if me and you, we just in our home, in our house, and you out here chatting it up with your homegirls at 1 a.m. If it's an emergency, of course, right? I can understand that being like maybe a thing. And even then, 911. What do the French people have? Is it 911? We're going to say 911. Call 911. Dial 911. Hello? A dispatcher, you're going to be connected to somebody that's going to go ahead and help you. Right? What emergency that's going to happen at 1 a.m. that's going to come and interfere with me and you's time, where me and you is like, oh, we might be doing other things. Okay? We might be on a journey to the promised land. Why would your female friend call you at 1 a.m.? That's going to make me feel uncomfortable. Madi, l'homme de Dieu. That the Bible tells you that you're going to go ahead and sacrifice yourself. Love your wife. Okay? To the point where the same way Christ loved the church. And Christ loved the church so much so that he died. Okay? That's that sacrificial love. I'm going to love you to the point where I'm going to give my life for you. That's what the church calls men to do. Because he done told us he a man of faith. He loved the Lord. He grew up in the church and the church and the church and the church and the Lord and all of the things. He done told us that. Right? So now it comes time when you are the man of the house. That's your wife. That's your person. Y'all go together real bad. You are over here arguing over hypothetical scenarios where your female friends gonna call you late in the midnight hour, even if that's a boundary, even if that's something that makes your wife uncomfortable. Mind you, you're the one that asked her.
I don't understand that.
If they have a problem, it's okay, I get it. But if it's for an everyday chat where you spend an hour on the phone with your friend when you're supposed to be spending quality time with your partner, who you might not have seen all day?
You asked her. What would be unacceptable for her? She said, whenever you have friends, just like calling you late in the midnight hour, female friends, late in the midnight hour, not for emergencies, because she clarifies that. But we just like, hey, how you doing, my D? Like, today I went to the store. I had me some mac and cheese. Monsieur comment? Ça va? Like, we're not finna do that at 1 a.m. That's gonna make me uncomfortable. And to me, when she was saying that, I was like, okay, that is a very specific thing to bring about. I wonder what she experienced in her past with maybe the men that she dealt with not having boundaries with their female friends. Because as soon as he asked, that was like an easy answer, right? I'm not possessive, but also don't make me out here to look stupid. If we go together, we go together. It got to be like some kind of a decorum, right? You got to be mindful of me the same way I'm going to be mindful of you. Madi gonna be offended because Madi at 1 a.m. he wants to be Jesus. He's like, Jesus, take the night off. I'm gonna be on the main line, okay? When my friends Becky, Jeanette, Ashley, and Sarah and them gonna wanna call me at 1 a.m. late in the midnight hour, I'm gonna turn around from my bed, answer the call, and chat it up with my wife on the other side. You could call me insecure. Matter of fact, you could call me a combination of Marley and Issa from Insecure. Both of them combined. Absolutely not. That's disrespectful. I'm with my sis. My grande sœur, Cynthia, Mwanamboka, I'm with her.
They're not supposed to happen?
Well, yeah. I don't think it's okay that when we're spending so much time together and it's like 1 a.m. that you're on the phone with your female friend.
So you have some kind of rules?
Wow, that's harsh.
Comment down below and let me know. That ain't made no sense to me. And this is coming from a Christian man. When you become, when you become a husband, it's not like you're now in a prison, but there's a certain level of respect. Your responsibility is not your wife. That's what your responsibility is. And as a wife, your responsibility is not your husband. Figuring out what works for both of y'all. For you to be so lackluster and argue over prioritizing a chit chat with your girlfriends, like your female friends, if that makes your wife uncomfortable, that don't sound to me like a man of God. That don't sound to me like a man of God at all. This doesn't mean don't have no female friends, but have some kind of limitations, have some boundaries. Right? I think instead of using the word limitation, boundaries, I think would have been better. Like, let's just have boundaries. Because me, I'm not going to be on the phone with Fred, my girlfriend, at 1 a.m. Like, no. If it's an emergency, 911. And in between that, call on the Lord. Late in the midnight hour, the Lord is available to all. Okay, all the people. So you have Cynthia over here specifying and clarifying. I'm not talking about emergencies. Obviously, if it's an emergency, you're in the number that maybe they want to reach out to. Of course, I understand that. But like for everyday chit chatter where maybe like you ain't seen me all day. I went to work, you went to work, life was happening. And then it comes time for us to be together and rest and do some things as a married couple. Okay, the married bed is undefiled. Okay, now you on the phone with Claudine. Ha ha ha, he 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 he. That's gonna make me uncomfortable. Why this baby, the man of God, l'homme de Dieu m'a dit, that grew up in the faith, that was raised as a Christian, who I'm hoping understands the Christian principles as a man. Your commitment is to your wife. You leave your family, she leaves her family, y'all become one. Okay, this man gonna be like, well, everything is important to me. I wanna, get married and have a family, but I also wanna have my freedom. Freedom to do what? Freedom of speech?
I want to get married and start a family. But I also want to keep my freedom.
Freedom of religion, because that's not being taken away from you in marriage. Your speech also not being taken away. What freedom you want? As a man of God, l'homme de Dieu m'a dit, what freedom do you want? What kinds of freedoms do you want to have? To do what? Again, marriage ain't no bondage. But for you to specify and pacify that you want you some freedom to do what? A lot of these men want wives while still leading a single life. This is what this gave to me, because what kinds of freedoms do you want?
As long as I respect you, I don't want to be told, do this or don't do that.
And then, of course, he gonna try to switch it on her, gonna talk about how, like, so long as I respect you and you respect me, I want to be told to do this or that. She ain't told you can't do this or that. You asked her, what would be unacceptable? She gave you a very specific scenario, right? She ain't told you what to do or what not to do. You asked her a question. She answered. It will come across as disrespectful to me if it's like you just chit-chatting with your girlfriends, your female friends, late in the midnight hour, when God's supposed to be turning it around. You were turning around from the bed, picking up your phone, on the phone with Claudine. Like, comment ça va? How are you? Like, no. 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 Absolutely not. Comment down below and let me know. But to me, I saw nothing wrong with that. Every relationship gonna have boundaries. Every relationship gonna have boundaries. Because if it's so important to you that you be sitting over here and just like chit-chatting with your friends, your girlfriends all the time, stay single. Stay single. And you ask her what would make her uncomfortable. And then go and twist it around as if she said, don't ever speak to your female friends at all. Mind you, she gave you a very specific scenario. If it's an emergency, it's one thing. But like to just be chit-chatting at 1 a.m., that don't make no sense. You could call them, at 7 a.m. on your way to work. Hey, Claudine, how you doing? Like, what's up? I miss your call. Like, what's going on? But no. As a man of faith, l'homme de Dieu, Mahdi himself, who grew up in church and religion is very important to him, he a Christian, he followed the Bible. He not trying to prioritize the well-being and the health of his marriage with his wife. He wants to go ahead and spend his time chit-chatting and having him his liberté, freedoms. For what? To do what? What are you trying to use those freedoms for? Like what?
The message that I'm getting here, I don't like it.
This man legit lives over this. In his confessionals, he's going to talk about one of the pillars of his life is his freedom. I'm like, beloved, I thought the pillars was Christ. I thought Christ was the foundation, the center of your life. That's what you was talking about, liberté. He's like, oh, I want to be in prison. She asked you not to be on the phone with your female friends at 1 a.m. chit-chatting about whatever the hell. In my household, even men, okay, you're not gonna be calling in my household at 1 a.m. chit-chatting for no reason. Why? Both ways. That's my time to be like, my toes all up in your toes. Like we just, that's the time of rest. That's literally such a basic boundary in a marriage. Does that mean in the morning you can call your people? Absolutely not. Again, like she said, if it's an emergency, I don't give a damn. Emergencies happen. Emergencies happen. I am somebody's, emergency contact. So is my partner. Emergencies happen. But to be ha at 1 a.m. just because you ain't got nothing to do and you want to talk to somebody at 1 a.m., no, wait till the morning. We're going to talk in the morning. This is where we're going to talk about freedom. I don't want to be Paul and Silas. I don't want to be in chain. This woman wants to chain me. She wants to put me in bondage. Because you want to be talking to Claudine at 1 a.m. late in the midnight hour as a man of God. Comment down below and let me know. I did not see what Cynthia did wrong. And I know I'm joking when I'm talking about how, I'm going to be biased and all of the things. I will be a little biased. That's a Congolese woman. I don't talk badly about my people. Especially the women, I do my best. I don't talk badly about my people. But in this here case, in this here scenario, Mahdi was on one. Mahdi was on one. Literally, he was on one. Gonna talk about freedom. I want my freedom. Like, who took your freedom, beloved? Like, where your freedom at? Is it? I was there looking under my couch. I'm like, dang, who took my brother's freedom? I thought he still had it. Because he wasn't under my couch. But let's check again. Your freedom's still not here because you never lost it. You still had it. What the hell? So then you have my good sister over here, Cynthia, my grandson, just crying. That ended up triggering like a part of her because, her parents done died, bless her soul, rest their soul, okay? Her parents done died, so she always dealt with like abandonment issues, this, that, and the third.
And my insecurities, it's a sensitive matter because I lost my parents at a young age.
And so she just, she felt like, dang, like, I always, feel as though nobody trying to stay in my life for real like that. So there's definitely some things over there, but I will say, this was not to me at least, this was not a moment of her just being insecure. It really was not. I can understand maybe her wanting to reflect and maybe tie it to that and be like, okay, maybe I'm just being insecure. But God, don't let nobody gaslight you, especially on this here scenario. You were not being insecure. You were being an adult. You were being an adult. Comment down below and let me know. So then we see her on a date with Jonathan Simone Biles. And they was out here just like, talking. And she cried on the date as well. Jonathan was reassuring. So as I'm watching this, I'm like, dang, like this, it's looking good for Jonathan. Like I'm liking this connection. Jonathan seems like he has the sense that the good Lord done gave to him. I'm like, this looks nice. Like this all right by me.
Honestly, I like you. And I really love our conversations. It gets better every time.
It's also a pleasure for me to get to know you.
Okay, get Mahdi to go ahead and start preaching the gospel somewhere else. Okay, let him do a night vigil with all the people he wants to be talking to late in the midnight hour. Gather them in a church and preach them the gospel since you a man of God, l'homme de Dieu. Okay, go ahead and talk to all the women. Do a women revival. Okay, do a women revival at night and leave my good sister Cynthia alone. That's what I'm feeling. I'm excited. I'm like, Lord have mercy. My grandmother has found love. Elle a trouvé l'amour. She done found love for her and Jonathan, the chef. Chef gonna feed her real good. She gonna get real thicker with the chef Jonathan. Cool. And boy, was I not ready. Boy, was I not ready for the mess.
Cynthia is an exceptional woman. Strong, determined. She's a warrior. She might have a strong personality, but that's what I'm looking for.
On this here day, you have Jonathan talking about how, like, Cynthia is such an amazing woman. She's accomplished. She's very strong. And she also has a strong personality, which is what I'm looking for. Like a woman that's going to stand 10 toes down. A woman that's about her business. Like she seems like she ain't no wishy-washy. She ain't no pick-me. Like she going to stand her ground and she going to stand 10 toes down. Okay, 10 toes down. And I like that. That's what I need. This is from Jonathan. I like Cynthia a lot. She's a strong woman. Accomplished. Okay? Strong-willed. I love that. That's what I need. This is what Jonathan is saying. The secret sauce, because me as a chef, I understand the secret sauce. The secret sauce, all there. Strong character. Accomplished. Gonna stand 10 toes down. She ain't gonna backtrack. She ain't gonna backslide. That's what I like. That's what I need. Cool. The people of God agree. And so you had a good sister, my grandmother Cynthia. You had her over there who was talking about how, like, Jonathan surprised me. He's very, like, reassuring. Although I'm feeling Madi very much, like, Madi is giving me the butterflies. He's giving me all of the feelings and the things. But, like, something about Jonathan feels like the most, logical choice. I'm going to say this as well. Half the time, y'all be knowing, right? And I don't want to ever take away somebody's rights to maybe like change their mind or be a little bit more open-minded. But half the time, y'all be knowing, right? Jonathan was always a second choice to whatchamacall her. Jonathan was always a second choice to Cynthia. If Madi, the man of God, l'homme de Dieu, if he wasn't on some, on his search for freedom, if he wasn't trying to get his freedom fighter on, even though and nobody asked him to give up his freedoms, we ask you not to be on the call late in the midnight hour. If he wasn't on that, Cynthia would have done everything in her power to make the relations work. Because now she on a date with Madi, right? And she gonna talk about how, like, how you make me feel. Pause, beloved, you don't tell him that.
I can't deny that you're charming. I think you know what you do to me.
Big sis, ko ebise bongo te. Pour moi, mbalo ebise deja bongo sakana yo. You tell a man that they're gonna start playing in your face. You don't tell him that. You know what you do to me. You do nothing to me. Don't tell that man that. Don't tell, no. Even if your coochie is throbbing, beloved, grandson, even if it's throbbing, okay, even if you don't imagine crossing and reaching the promised land together with that man, you do not tell. Even if it's a turmoil and confusion, okay, even if it's a protest happening down your canal, okay, you do not let that man know this early. You do not. Because that's how you end up in a situation where a man feels as though, like, okay, she really liked me, so let me go ahead and start playing in her face. Especially the ones that love the Lord, like, oh my God. You do not let them know how you feeling that early. That's just me. But the girlies love hard. Okay, the girlies love hard. And I love hard too. But I don't know. Sometimes I just, maybe it's a pride thing, but like, it's just, I don't do too much, okay? I don't do too much. It could be a turmoil and confusion happening down south, okay? My coochie could be having a panic attack, okay? That early, you're not finna know. You gonna get you a politician answer every time. I'm just gonna. It's a lot. I'm going to 2-0 and gyrate. Like, no, don't do that. That to me was like, girl, don't let him know how you feel, right? But she leads with her heart. She's vulnerable. Like, you talking about your liberty and your freedom and the things. I ain't ask you to give up no freedom. I like my freedom too.
I get that you don't want to lose your freedom, but no one asked you to give it up.
I like my freedom too. Okay, I ain't asking nobody to give up their freedoms. I just don't understand why, that was taken there. It feels like you're not flexible. It feels like you're somebody that's very like rigid, right? Like you don't seem to see things from multiple perspectives. It's just like what you think. That's just what it is, right? And that's a little scary for me.
I feel like I'm dealing with someone who's not flexible.
He gonna talk about like, oh, I had some situations in the past in the third grade, because you know how some of these men, they gonna hold on to somebody that hurt their feelings in the third grade, gonna carry it out all throughout their lives. Like a girl broke my heart, and then you ask them, who broke your heart? It's gonna be like, oh, it was Ashley down there in kindergarten. Done took my pencil, and I ain't never trusted women ever since.
It brings up past fears.
Okay.
I had a very passionate relationship. We had a hard time channeling our emotions.
Oh, okay, I see.
It was intense.
That's the energy my D was giving to me. Gonna talk about how like a passionate relationship that I had in the past. This triggered this, that, and the third. And in my mind, I was like, okay, Cynthia's not the one. And Cynthia was like, dang, like I would have loved to get to know you. Which, by the way, she was talking too much.
Now I'm in the friend zone. Great, thank you.
She was talking too much in that point. I was having a conversation with one of my girlfriends a little while ago, and she had a situation, she was like an entanglement with August. And as they were parting their ways, it just was a lot of conversation. And I was like, girl, no. Okay, thank you. I told you already that one time when somebody, broke up with me, I thought we had something going on. And he was like, beloved, I'm trying to go seek the Lord. I ain't really trying to, I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to follow you like that. And he did it on Christmas. I said, okay, Merry Christmas. Right? We not chatting it up.
Fine for me if you find happiness with someone else. I would have liked to get to know you.
My sister over here was like, I would have loved to get to know you. Beloved, we're not telling him all that. Go write in your journal. I really like me my D. Cry about it in the privacy of your own house. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your time. Get up and walk. Right? And this man gonna talk about how, like, my head gonna tell me Cynthia's not the one, but we could still talk. For what? Talk about what?
We can still talk.
I don't feel like opening up to you now.
So that's it.
Yeah.
What are we to talk about? She was like, ain't nothing to talk about. So eventually they just like, the relationship dissolved. So now it leaves her with Jonathan the chef, okay? Jonathan Simone Biles. That's who she was left with. Now, up until this point, I ain't thought nothing was wrong with Jonathan. I'm not gonna lie to you. I ain't peeped nothing that was necessarily like wrong. It seemed as though everything Cynthia is what he was describing he needed in a partner. So now my grandtell Cynthia goes full force with Jonathan. They talked about joint accounts. They talked about birth control. She discloses that, her parents are from Congo. And they spoke about just like, men being providers within the home. They didn't get too deep into that, right? She just mentioned like, culturally, like that's just like how she was raised, but she's not opposed to opening like a joint account, this, that, and the third. And, he talked about how he's mixed, like he's French on one side, and then he's like, from the Caribbeans. I don't really remember for real like that. And, they talk about how like this gonna be a love story. You know how they always be in the beginning, like love is kind, love is patient, but love is you. You is the love of my life. Nothing can separate me from your love. Even God don't love you the way that I do. Like they was out here proclaiming and professing the whole time. And, Cynthia's like, okay, I'm opening myself up. I'm saying? Like I never really dated, a mixed person before. I'm saying? Like I usually go for like the dark skin man. Like I ain't never really dated Drake like that for real. But I'm more attracted to charisma. I'm more attracted to like, charm and all of the things. And he gonna be like, charisma, I got it all. Charm, I'm Mr. Charm. Like I got all the charms. Lucky charm, all kinds of charm. I got all the charm. Cool. So then you have whoever the editor is, that man is diabolical. Because this whole time, our good sister, my grandmother, she was seated. Okay? Jonathan was seated. Everybody was seated. As soon as this baby is ready to go ahead and propose and pop the question, why they gonna open with this scene right here? And I was like, oh my gosh.
Caught out in the middle.
Now my sister the same size as Mutombo Dikembe. Like, why would y'all why would y'all do that? Okay, then you realize just how small, okay, and how short Jonathan is in comparison. Okay, August is so like that's Shaq O'Neal. It's giving Shaq O'Neal and Kevin Hart. All right, it's just it was a lot going on. And then what this baby gonna get in the pods? They're talking about the love. The love is calm. My love gonna be kind, and it's gonna be all the things. And this baby gonna be like in front of you. It's a gift. Open it. She gonna open it, and it's a bracelet. He gonna talk about, oh, my grandmama wore the bracelet. My mama wore the bracelet, and now the next woman in my life will be you. You go ahead and wear the bracelet, beloved. No. I'm sorry. I get the sentiments, but buy her another bracelet. At the very least, wait until y'all meet in person. Go through the honeymoon. Do the entire month of the thing. And if you are that sure that this person is still the one that you want to marry blindly on my screen, then the day of the wedding, go ahead and give them the bracelet. You the person, once they say yes, you the person, this not the gift you finna get. You don't know this lady. Okay? This is Mutombo Dikembe. You ain't even knew that. And you are so sure the love is kind, the love is patient. You are my hand. He reads a whole note, which is beautiful. I love when the guys quote the girlies. I love when the guys lead with how much they feel about the girlies. I've been told y'all, don't let these men know how y'all feeling. Even if the coochie is throbbing, close your legs, bow your head and pray. Okay? Submit to the Holy Ghost. Don't let these men know that they got you in a turmoil and confusion, because as soon as they know that, they're gonna come over here and tusero and gyrate and play with your feelings. That's just my thing, right? But also keep the sentimental family heirlooms. Okay, is it heirloom? Heirloom now. It's a heirloom. It's a heirloom. Keep the heirlooms till later. Comment down below and let me know, right? And so you had Augustus in the lounge. We're going to talk about how, like, oh, I'm kind of, like, nervous because, you know, what if he's shorter than me? What I'm finna do?
Nothing indicates that he's tall.
So what would you do?
Well, if he's short, I'll take off my heels for the reveal.
Should I take off the heels? Like, is that going to hurt his feelings? And the girls are just, like, advising, like, you know, it's going to be all right, this, that, and the third, and whatever the case is.
I'm trying to think, but I can't find anything. I know after everything we've experienced, it won't change the fact that I want to spend my life with her.
Why them doors gonna open? And whoever edited this is diabolical. Y'all could have tried to angle him in a way that was gonna make him look one way or the other. This baby looked like Simone Biles. Like, he looks so small in comparison to our good sis.
Hello.
And then she had the nerve to go ahead and wear 6-inch heels. Beloved, it's already going to take him 3 to 5 business days to make it to your lips. Why would you add another obstacle? Okay? Why would you do that? She looked beautiful. She looked majestic. And then they meet. He gonna be like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm lost for words. Like, I don't even know what to say. It's hard. It's hard for you to talk. You know what I'm saying? Because once you go ahead and talk, by the time it reaches her ears, it will be tomorrow. The distance is so long. The distance is so long. What do you mean? It's an 18-hour flight with a 6-hour layover distance between you and her. Men of God. And he was in there like, you so beautiful, I'm lost for words. You know, their thing was like, it was a little awkward because I was just kind of like, oh my gosh, like the height difference, like how is he gonna feel? How is she gonna feel? You could sense like she was a little like, okay, what's going on?
You smell so good.
This is great. So
How are you?
I'm doing great.
But like they both see they talk about how like it's great, I don't care. I was concerned about him being short, but like now that I see him, none of that really matters. Jonathan the one, I love him, this, that, and the third, and he handsome. You know what I'm saying? Like I like me my Jonathan Biles. Like I like me my Simone Biles of her husband. Like I love me this man.
I'm obviously taller than he is. That was a concern. I now realize that it's not really all that important.
That's what our good sis is saying. Like, I love me this man. And he's saying the same thing, like, ain't nothing, like, again, the declaration of the love. Ain't nothing gonna separate me. Ain't nothing I'm gonna see that's gonna be a problem for me. These are the things that Jonathan is saying. And nothing I'm gonna see gonna cause me a problem for my future wife. The one that I done gave my family heirloom to, and nothing gonna separate the love. Not a damn thing. Okay, no high mountain, nothing. Every mountain I'm gonna climb. I'll climb every mountain, see where we go. So I will climb the mountain Kilimanjaro in front of me. I will climb it. Ain't nothing wrong, ain't nothing wrong. So as embarrassed as I was for both of them, because I was watching this like, what the hell? Right? As awkward as I was like, okay, if y'all like it, then I'm in love. You feel me? Hire me to go ahead and be the flower girl. That's my grand sale. That's that. When I want to book, I want to grand sale. Like I'm going. Okay, I already got the little. I got the updo. I could put it up a little bit more, and I'm gonna really look like a flower girl. Let me get ready. That's what I'm thinking. But lo and behold, beholding the laws, why we gonna get to the little honeymoon that they be doing for them, and this gonna happen?
How about your white sandals? I really like those. What was the problem?
Yeah, but I don't know.
So the two of them, they in the little suite, right? And they talking about like, the height difference. She brings up the conversation like, she was like, yo, to be honest, at first, I used to think that, height was gonna be like a deal breaker for me. Like, it's just like, I want my partner to be taller than me. But after everything you and I kind of like just spoken about, your charisma, your charm, I'm like, I don't really care. It doesn't bother me. It don't do me no never mind. And he was there like joking like, oh, you like my little charisma? He puffed up a little bit and there was like he ha ha laughing about it, right? He says it's not a problem. She says it's not a problem. I'm happy. I love you. Me and you, we go together. I care about other things. The height, it's just going to be what it's going to be. I don't care. He said he don't care. She said she don't care. So nobody cares, right? And me too, I'm sitting here. I don't care, right? You don't care. She don't care. Don't nobody cares. I don't care. 5 minutes later, now they're talking about their outfits, right? Why this baby going to be like, oh, what about the shoes? And he the one that brings it up. So then I'm like, okay, pause. You the one that's not asking her what shoes she's gonna be. You're not the one that's asking her what shoes she's gonna be wearing. Why? Because we've established that you don't care. She don't care. Even me now, I don't even care. I had a problem with it because I'm like, dang. My sister has to go ahead and just like climb all the way down to reach your lip. Right? It's like she right here, you buy her coochie. That's a problem. I had a problem. But you say you ain't had a problem. She said she ain't had a problem. Now suddenly, lo and behold, beholding the laws, I was like, you know what? I don't have a problem. But now you out here calculating like, okay, what shoe is she gonna be wearing? Am I gonna be dealing with Shaq O'Neal or Mutombo Dikembe? What am I gonna be walking into depending on the shoe that our girl is finna choose? She gonna be like the same one I wore yesterday. And he gonna be like, what about the wild ones? And then they're gonna pan to the wild ones. The wild ones, it is the key and heel, about his size. Okay, him and the heel aligned, equally yoked. Okay? I wanna repeat. He said he ain't cared. She said she ain't cared. Now our girl is trying to pull on her heels, it's a problem. Right? And right then when the cameras was around, he gonna be like, okay, I don't care. And she even joked, she was like, I don't even like your outfit, but you don't see me complaining. Ha ha ha.
Well, that's that then.
No, you don't look at me like
I
that.
didn't say
I
a
don't
word.
like your look either, but I didn't say anything.
Oh.
She carries on about her day like regular banter. At least that's how I read it, right? At least that's how it landed to me, right? And I'm watching this in French as well. I did the little video in English because the audience is, primarily English, but I speak a little French. So I watched this in French. So even the tonality of that moment did not give hostile to me, at least. It gave very much like regular banter. Like, I don't like your outfit either. You don't see me complaining, like, leave me alone. And she just like carried on, putting on her makeup, blase, blase. On that part, this baby's like, okay, fine, wear your heels. I don't care. Then the cameras gonna move. They're gonna be in a different room. And this baby didn't think the cameras was gonna catch this. Why this baby gonna be like, oh, can you actually now wear the long heels? Because it's gonna, it's gonna make me feel bad in front of the other people. What if they make fun of me?
I'm begging you,
Yes,
please wear
honey.
the other shoes.
Why?
Because of the others, I'm going to get roasted. You're taking it too far.
You said it was okay.
All right, forget it. Okay.
And she's like, why? I don't give a damn what the other people said. I don't care. You don't care. And at this point, Benny don't even care. Benny's over there in the US. She doesn't even care. Why are you caring about other people who are not relevant? You don't care. I don't care. And the other person that's relevant in this whole scenario is Benny. And even Benny, she says she doesn't care. Why do you have a problem? Jonathan is not stammering. You don't care about my feelings. You don't care about feelings. Which feelings? You said you don't care. She don't care. I don't care. Don't nobody cares. Why you gonna make this a problem? And I've seen people online gonna talk about how like, oh, she was out here being hostile. She was out here emasculating him. And I'm just like, I have to politely disagree again. This is not me being biased. This is not just me, favoring my Congolese sister, my grandmother. It's not me just being that. This man said what he said. She literally took his words verbatim. If you don't care and I don't care, because I've realized that love is the most important thing, not aesthetics. Okay, I'm going to take the flight. Okay, I'm going to take the flight. I'm going to climb a couple stairs. Okay, go from up north all the way down south to meet your lips. Okay, and reach your forehead. I'm going to climb down. If you're willing to climb up, I'm going to climb down. That's not a problem. We're in love. You got charisma, you got charm, lucky charm, you got all the things. Okay, you got all the things. That ain't a problem to me. Now this man gonna change his mind. In the privacy, when he don't see the cameras on, he gonna be like, oh, it actually gonna hurt my feelings. What other people, what the other couple gonna say? And from that point, he went from being Simone Biles to being at the waist of Simone Biles. Because what do you mean? As a grown man, why would you be sitting over here thinking about, oh, they're going to make fun of me because of my height? That's the height you've had the whole time. That's the height you had when you presented yourself to her when the doors opened and you said it was fine. I saw you climbing to make that kiss. I saw you take the double flight with the layover just to land on her lips. Okay, we all saw it. We was like, is he gonna make it? Like, is he gonna fall on his way to the climb? Like, is it like we all saw it? But you say you ain't had no problem. But in the privacy of your home, you wanna switch up on this girl and ask her to diminish herself, to lessen herself so that you can feel better. That I don't commend. Absolutely not. He was wrong for that. Because that means you're wishy-washy. That means other people are going to ultimately be ruling your relationships. That means she has to dress in a way that she doesn't feel confident for your sake. Not even your sake, for other people's sake. What kind of man is that? At that point, I feel like our good sister was like, okay, go ahead and get you a ladder. She ain't said that, but that's what I would have been said. Beloved, I'm going to put on my heels. Carry a ladder if you want to stand next to me. Okay? Because I'm not down to earth. Me and you, we're not going to see eye to eye. Okay? That's what I would have said. But my girl said she has a little bit more decorum than me. And even when she was addressing him in this scene right here, why Augustus gonna go on the step below? And he gonna be mad like, you could stand next to me. Beloved, which is it?
What do you want?
You can stay in here. I don't mind. I don't feel insecure about our...
Now you're the one talking about height.
I don't know. I
because
thought
it's
so.
relevant.
I thought so. Okay, fine. My
Seriously,
bad.
You don't want her to wear heels because you're insecure about your height. Then you want her to stand next to you like, which is it? Which is it? And the whole time he getting mad talking about it's my feelings, you don't care about my feelings. Which feelings? You said you ain't had no problem. Oh, it's common sense. Actually, it's not.
You're usually so direct with me. Up to now, our strength has been transparency.
Cynthia, at what point do you think about me?
The thing
at what
is,
point do you put
I don't
yourself
put
in
myself
my
in your
shoes,
shoes.
right?
Joe, I didn't do it because
That's
you
right.
told me it wasn't an issue.
It's not common sense. To me, common sense would say that I'm in this relationship with you. And if you are okay with me being this short and I'm okay with you being that tall, then that's it. It takes two to tango. Me and you, we tangoing right now. Tango. That's it, that's all. The minute you guys will involve Becky, Chloe, Ashley, and everybody outside and their opinion, what they're going to think, then we have a problem. Then as a man, I can't even respect you. Because I know you're not out here walking with your own head held high. You're out here tootsie rolling for the opinion and the pleasing of other people. I don't like that. At all. At all. So she's not backing down. And mind you, remember when they was in the pods, he done said the woman that he loves and the woman that he needs is somebody like Cynthia, who is accomplished, she's a queen, and she's level-headed, and she gonna stand her ground. Now she's standing the ground. You don't want her to stand. You want her to bend down so that your own ego can be like, you want to be Big Daddy. You want to bamba like this. Why?
I took you at your word, actually. So why should I put myself...
For this specific event, you could have sensed that it wasn't the best thing to do. I mean, it's just common sense.
He gonna throw a whole tantrum, and everybody online was like, oh, she should have maybe sort of kind of like, why ain't she just like backing up? Why did she have to bow down? Do you know how miserable she will be for the rest of her life to have to always argue this man down because of how tall she is and how short he is?
Do I need to say it?
No. My common sense, excuse me for saying,
Why do you keep interrupting? Why do you keep interrupting? I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk like that.
No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So they go back and forth and he's like, he's done. He feel pack his stuff and leave. Beloved, pack and leave. Be gone. In Jesus' name. Okay, I rebuke you in Jesus' name. Okay, what was that? Comment down below and let me know. I ain't like that at all. Because my good sis was out and she was ready to hurt her back, making her way down to you. And you was out here trying to stress her out. No. No.
I'll get my things and I'm out of here. Don't worry.
We're done. We're
I'll
done
get my things. I'm
Enough.
leaving. I can't take this. I hate this. I'm going
home.
I'm leaving.
We're done talking.
That's it.
We're done
I'm
talking.
leaving.
We always talk about how men, women being secure, and they're like, no. Stand 10 toes. You got a problem with being short, carry a ladder. Okay? Carry a damn ladder. I'm not gonna go ahead and start wearing flats and sandals every doggone time because you got a problem with your height. Am I your mother? Am I your father? Go argue with your papa as to why you are short. Me, I'm short. Me and my husband, we're both short. We're down to earth. Okay? We see eye to eye on a lot of things. Okay? That ain't a problem to me. Find you somebody that's not going to have a problem and find you somebody that you're not going to have a problem with their height. Instead of saying like, oh, you love this tall-ass woman only to be demanding of her to adjust herself and to diminish herself to make you feel comfortable. That to me is toxic. And everybody online was busy calling her toxic, and I did not understand why. Now, in the scene to come, when they were talking about being friends with exes, I could see why. Because my good sis was coming on a little too strong. But at that point in my mind, the respect being gone. You done told me you care more about Ashley than standing on your own two balls. Like, where are your balls? We can't find it. Let's just look. It's not attached to you because you're out here thinking about how Charlie gonna think and how these other white people, these white men who won't even brush their teeth, mind you. Everybody that their teeth mustard yellow. Mustard like the whole time. That's who you care about as a man, or a man that's gonna be my husband, a man that's gonna be my partner. Like, no. Adjust your balls. Okay, elongate your spine. Okay, elongate your spine. Okay? At that point, I feel like she just was over it. Because then eventually they're going to go ahead and go to the meetup, and she gave him. She wore the freaking flip-flops to make him feel better.
You don't have to make a big deal out of it. There'll be plenty
Well,
other
I
people.
want to make a big deal out of this moment.
So then you have the breakfast scene. Was it the breakfast or the dinner scene? Now, I will say Cynthia was out of pocket. That question, it did not need to escalate to that degree, right? Or you're providing context that's, uncalled for. Was it not you at the past with Madi when you done told him about the whole, phone call with the girlfriends, the female friends late in the midnight hour? Did you not provide context so that he cannot misunderstand what you were saying? Why is it that when Simone Biles Jonathan decided to go ahead and provide context so you can understand the dynamics that he has with some of his exes, why were you so upset? That moment, it wasn't giving. It ain't gave.
But there are people I've kept in touch with who are married now, who invited me to their wedding.
That wasn't my question.
What was
Here
it?
you're giving
Am
me
I
context.
friends with any exes today?
Yes.
Now, for him to go around calling her aggressive, because then we're going to see when they break up, this baby's like, she aggressive. I'm so scared of her. She's so mean to me. She, all of those things. He dragged it. Or she different behind the scenes when the cameras are off. When the cameras are supposedly off, it's you that's wishy-washy. It's you that said you ain't had no problem with her heels when the cameras were on, when we was all watching. And then when the cameras were seemingly off, you suddenly had a problem with her heels. So if there's anybody that's doing this wishy-washy thing, it's you. To be like she was one thing off camera versus another thing on camera, that's a bit of a stretch because we see her on camera. Rip you to shreds for no reason. Cynthia was wrong. I'm going to stand on this. She was wrong. She was wrong. He provided context. Oh, he wants to just like be doing all this talking. I asked a straight up question. We are having a conversation. Where we finna go? We ain't got no phones. We ain't got our jobs. We ain't got nothing going on for the day but to get to know each other. If this man wants to be long-winded, allow him now. Tika loba. Alinyo loba, tika lobo. Zo katakata, ko zo katakata, lobi bokate zalaka. Grande, bongo pete. Bongo pete. Bongo pete. We don't do that. Let the man talk. That was wrong. She was dead on wrong. But for him to drag in and say, oh, she aggressive, oh, he was scared for himself, he was scared for his life, she's very violent. Some of those words, I don't like when those words are used around black women, period. Particularly because of, her stature, because of how tall she is. She's a dark-skinned woman. It started giving, he was basically calling her an angry black woman. And I don't like that. Because Cynthia, to me, she gave a little sass. Because we're going to talk about the other girls. All the French women wasn't playing with this man. All of them. The Asian one who wanted to be Victoria Beckham and David Beckham so bad. Every time she had an argument with this man. So much so that this man almost cried on every scene. But you ain't seen him call her aggressive. It was going to be taken like, oh, she has a little spice to her. The other girl that was with Vami, was it Vami? The Asian guy with the other woman. Arguing for no damn reason. Finding arguments here and there that don't make no sense. You ain't seen him call her aggressive. Or she just a little spicy. They just like unreasonable, they're a little bit more emotional, blase. But it's the black woman, it's the tall, dark-skinned black woman that y'all was so easy and free to label as angry and black.
I'm trying to imagine a future
This is the
with you.
first time I've seen you this jealous.
Excuse me?
No, I'm kidding. I'm just teasing.
Yeah, okay.
Did she have a bad moment? For sure, she did. She was unreasonable in that moment. But for this man to be like, he's scared. There was at the beach, he was talking about, like, oh, don't even look that way. I'm scared. She gonna see me like talking about her. I'm scared. What are you scared of? What did you think she was gonna do to you? She's tall. She's not a, she's not a Rambe. She's just tall. She's just a tall girl. For her to get this little angry edit, it was unfair. And everybody was overlooking the fact that Jonathan was the one being wishy-washy. Oh, I don't have a problem with your height. But suddenly when the cameras are not on, I have a problem with your height. I'm scared about what the other people are going to say. So you adjust yourself. Nobody was talking about that. Did she get a little spicy? Did she get a little disrespectful? Did she get a little condescending? Yes, I could see that, especially at the scene with the breakfast. That was uncalled for. But to label her as aggressive, that you can even make eye contact with her because you so scared, beloved. No, that was a drag. Comment down below. Maybe I'm just defending my Congolese sister because she's my Congolese sister. But yes, she was wrong. She was wrong. Let the man talk. Tika loba. Otunye question. Tika loba. Otunye question. Alingo loba. Banjo seke atika loba. Ezalaka. ezalaka te yo moko ntongo ofandaki na bafille wana olobaki olingi to ozala ma barelation neti ntango ozalaki na 17 ans ntango ozalaki na 20 ans mais façon osalaki wana ntango ozalaki na mesa na mobali wana c'est comme si ozalaki na 17 ans c'est comme si ozalaki na 20 ans it don't make no sense you behaved as if you were 17 or 20 Manju was the one talking to the girl is talking about how like oh I want to be in no toxic relationship as if when I was in my 17 years old when I was 17 years old or when I was 20 years old you said that, but then you got at the table with him, acting like a freaking teenager, cutting him off, like don't provide context. That's how conversations work. People provide context. She was wrong for that. She was mean and unnecessary and condescending, and she was cutting him off for no reason. Was she disrespectful? I could see that, yes. But for her to be labeled as violent and aggressive, that this grown man gonna be afraid, so afraid that he avoiding eye contact with her, that whole angry black woman trope, it made no sense. Because when you watch the season, with the exception of Chloe, who was out here singing for that man with the little dangly earrings and whatever the case is, with the exception of her, all the girlies had spice. All of them. All of them was on a different time zone. All of them. All of them had a little fire going. All of them. But ain't nobody got labeled angry. Only her. That's my only point. Was she wrong? Yes, I'm going to give it to her. But you're not going to keep over here acting like Jonathan wasn't also doing the most. He was the one that was wishy-washy.
You presented the situation as a non-issue. As soon as I heard my guy didn't have a problem with it, I decided to wear my heels.
To claim that this girl was different off camera, to me, doesn't hold any weight. Because on camera, we saw her. We saw her give you the heat. We saw her be unreasonable for no reason. For you to be sitting over acting like, oh my gosh, like you was fighting and you was afraid for your life, to me that's a reach. But maybe I can't see clearly because again, that's my gun sale. Botika nde konangana boy ba problem. Botika. Botika. Yasinta botika tranquille. Botika tranquille. Botika ina boy. I don't want. Leave my sister alone. Maybe it's just that, but like that bothered me low-key. Now, would I have handled things the way, you know, Cynthia did? Maybe not. Especially, again, at the dinner table. That's the one time where I was like, okay, you're not finna, you're not finna go ahead and just talk to that man like that. But every other time, you see him trying to argue with her, and when she want to argue back, she's the one being labeled aggressive. You are talking too. And if you're saying things that she doesn't feel aligns with her character, she has every right to defend herself. You're not going to sit over here and tell me that I'm aggressive and I'm violent because I don't, gotten mad about you and the ex situation. Like, that's not aggression.
Happy to see you again, too.
Once back from Morocco, I was really hurting. You said I was insecure. That's something I personally would have preferred not to have been called.
Yeah, but you weren't very nice either.
When she was out here trying to beg Simone Biles Jonathan to get back with her, and she had on the dress and the things. Bon, wana mwenye zate, mwenye defendo ya hizate. Ngamupe no keka Sonny. The way I was embarrassed for her. This man called you aggressive. Like, this man literally called you aggressive. For you to be sitting over here trying to tootsie roll and gyrate. Okay? Mind you, you still have on 6-inch heels. Just like hurting your back for Simone Biles Jonathan. Bon. One of them is a Sonny. No kisoni makasi ya boite.
Comment down below. I don't like that. I don't like that. But comment down below and let me know. Anyways, that's it on me, y'all. If you haven't yet, please go ahead and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so you always know when I upload. I'm going to do 2 other videos on this, right? I'm going to combine, the Asian man, the Asian woman, the David Beckham and them, and the girl that was singing, Alicia Keys and them, and the other guy that refuses to brush his teeth, and the white girl. All of them I'm going to combine in one. I don't care enough. I don't care enough. And then I'm going to do a separate video for, whatchamacallit, the single mom. I'm forgetting her name. The girl, Tatiana. I'm going to do Tatiana and her whole, like the search for love. My sister went through it. It was like all the men was coming, just like playing in her face, leaving, coming and leaving, coming and leaving. We're going to do like a separate video on that because I'm not trying to drag this along, right? But if you haven't yet, please go ahead and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so you always know when I upload. and you know, help me reach 50,000 subscribers. Watch my things to the end, and we gonna get this out as soon as possible so that we can watch Love Is Blind Germany and Love Is Blind Italy, I believe. We can watch those together, because having to go back and think about what I was thinking, it be irritating me. I love reacting to these things live with you guys. So we gonna do that. That's the plan. That's the plan. I'm gonna try to get this out as soon as I can. So bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. And again, subscribe. Let it do what it do. And you know, let me know if you disagree with me. I'm sure y'all gonna disagree, because you know, she's my Congolese sister. I'm gonna show her love. I don't do like y'all do. So maybe y'all gonna disagree, but child, we're already here. Subscribe. I'm gonna go ahead and see you guys in the next one. Bye, Z.